Laser engraving has exploded in popularity, but finding the right balance between price, power, and performance can be tricky. That's where the VEVOR A7 comes in, a compact, budget-friendly engraver available in 5, 10, and 20 watt versions. I've been testing the entry-level 5 watt model for the past month, and in this review, I'll walk you through everything from setup and safety to real-world engraving and cutting tests on materials like wood, acrylic, slate, leather, and even coated metals. Along the way, I'll share both the strengths and limitations that I've discovered, so by the end, you'll know whether this machine is the right fit for your workshop. This A7 was provided for me to review by VEVOR. As with all of my reviews, they aren't paying me for this review, and everything I say is my own honest opinion after using this laser for the past month. My videos do have affiliate links in the description, so if you're interested in anything you see in my videos, from lasers, materials, or accessories, you can use those links to help support my channel. We appreciate it. Let's get into it. The VEVOR A7 is a benchtop diode laser engraver. It produces a 455 nanometer wavelength visible blue light. Diode lasers are great for cutting and engraving natural materials like wood, leather, and stone, and work well on black acrylic, coated aluminum, and some stainless steel marking. Because it's a visible blue light, diode lasers do not work on transparent materials like glass or clear acrylic. The A7 comes in 3 different power levels: 5 watts, 10 watts, and 20 watts. I have the entry-level version with me today with the 5 watt laser. If you want to cut faster or cut thicker materials, then bumping up the power to the 10 or 20 watt version would be recommended. Starting with a 5 watt laser module, we see the control board at the top. Underneath that is the cooling fan, which blows through the module to cool the diodes and help clear away smoke. At the bottom we see the orange transparent nozzle. This nozzle is magnetically attached, making it easy to remove in order to clean the lens. The nozzle is an interesting design. It directs the airflow from the main cooling fan down through the nozzle, acting as a sort of air assist. There is no external air compressor on the 5 watt A7. The 10 and 20 watt models do come with a dedicated air compressor. I found that this nozzle does a pretty good job at clearing away the smoke and soot while engraving and cutting. There is very little darkening around the edges. Great work, VEVOR. The A7 has a large work area of 400mm by 410mm. That is a great size, and larger than my largest honeycomb panel. The A7 does not come with any work holding surface. No honeycomb panels or even a metal sheet to protect your table. I would recommend picking up a honeycomb panel, and I've performed all of my tests with my own panel. The A7 is made from lightweight extruded aluminum. Both the X and Y axes are belt driven, and use rubber V-slat wheels. The axes are extremely smooth to move around. The cabling is protected using these plastic cable chains. On the front, we see the main control box. The top has the main power button, a reset button, a TF card slot for offline engraving, a USB Type-B port to connect to your computer, and the main power input. The A7 also has a nice emergency stop latch. Once pressed, it'll immediately cut power to the laser. However, I am a little disappointed to not see any other safety features that are standard on most other lasers these days, like bump, tilt, or flame detection. You'll have to trigger the emergency stop yourself for that. VEVOR provides a pair of safety glasses. Laser engravers are dangerous, especially open frame lasers like the A7. You'll always want to wear eye protection anytime you are around the laser, as would anyone else within viewing distance of the laser. As with any laser, you'll also need to know what materials are and are not laser safe. Many materials, like PVC, can emit dangerous fumes which can harm you or the machine. And because there is no enclosure on the A7, you'll want to ensure that you use the A7 in a well-ventilated environment. VEVOR does sell an enclosure that would fit the A7. This would provide easier ventilation and better eye protection for those around the laser. The A7 is focused by using the included focus tools. Place one of the tools onto the surface you are engraving and slide the laser module down so that the orange nozzle rests on the tool. Tighten the screws to lock the module into place, remove the tool, and you are ready to go. VEVOR provides 3 of these tools, but you can always make your own if you lose them. Interestingly, the manual says that the tool should be 2mm thick for the 5 watt, 3mm for the 10 watt, and 4mm for the 20 watt. However, the tools provided for my 5 watt are 2.5mm thick. This might be a cost-saving thing to provide a 2.5mm thick tool so that the 5 and 10 watt versions can share. I didn't notice any difference in that discrepancy, I just wanted to point it out. The laser seemed well focused during my tests. The A7 arrives in a compact box and requires assembly. The full-colored manual walks you through the steps of screwing together the frame, sliding on the pre-assembled X-axis, attaching the feet, control box, and cable chains. And then you add the Y-axis belts, attach the laser module holder, and slide in the laser. Then plug in all the cables from the cable chains, and you are ready to go. Overall, it took me about 30 minutes to assemble the A7. The instructions have pictures of each step, and all the screws are individually bagged and labeled for each step. That was nice to see. There is some ambiguity in a few of the pictures though, so you'll want to pay attention to the orientation of the parts in the picture. The The VEVOR A7 can use any GRBL compatible software like LaserGRBL or Lightburn. The instruction manual walks you through how to set up both programs. LaserGRBL is free and has the basic operations, but I highly recommend that you pick up a Lightburn license. I love Lightburn, and it is packed full of every feature that you'd need for a laser. I did run into one snag when setting up Lightburn. Following the instructions, I had Lightburn find my laser and updated the size to 410 by 400mm. But when I ran my initial material test on 3mm wood, I was very unimpressed. It barely engraved, and even running at the slowest possible 60mm per minute, I was unable to cut through the wood in a single pass. And then I realized that the S max setting in the device settings was incorrect. It defaulted to 255, when instead, if you run the $30 command in the console window, you'll see that the laser expects an X max of 1000. So the laser was producing only 25% of its max power. So fixing this to have an X max of 1000 fixed this issue, and the A7 started working as I expected. The A7 has a Wi-Fi antenna and creates a Wi-Fi network with the default KMS name and password of 1234567. However, the VEVOR manual doesn't mention how to make use of it, and there is no VEVOR laser app, and I couldn't get any of my other MKS apps to connect to the laser. It would be nice to remotely control the laser via an app, but I couldn't test it myself. So with all of the specs out of the way, let's take a look at how well the VEVOR A7 5W laser cuts and engraves. Wood is always a good material to work with using diode lasers. Both cutting and engraving worked very well. After fixing the Lightburn S Max issue, I was very impressed by the speed of this 5W laser. I was consistently cutting 3mm plywood at 250mm per minute. That is faster than some 10W lasers that I've tested. My engraving tests were also pretty impressive. I could push the A7 to 12,000mm per minute speeds and get a nice variety of engraving depths on wood. It's only when you go to the deeper engravings do you see darkening around the edges. Otherwise, that nozzle shape does a good job at keeping the soot away. My kerf test showed a kerf offset of 0.07mm. That is a pretty well focused laser dot, which accounts for its excellent performance for a 5W laser. And this matches VEVOR's advertised 0.08mm laser spot size, so good job VEVOR on accurate advertising. This living hinge turned out great, consistent and accurate cuts, and the engraving of the text has very little darkening around the edges. Image engraving also looks awesome. You can see the difference in contrast between 6,000, 8,000, and 12,000mm per minute speeds. Diode lasers cannot cut clear acrylic, but it works great cutting and engraving darker acrylics. I was cutting 3mm thick black acrylic in 2 passes at 150mm per minute. My test 3D print log keychains turned out great. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll know that Slate is one of my favorite materials for laser engravers. And the A7 did an excellent job engraving. It left a pretty high contrast white engraving on the surface. I did notice some fuzziness around the edges of the letters. I think that's an indication that I should decrease the line intervals slightly. I think the smaller dot size of this laser is leaving a slight gap between my normal 0.1mm line interval. That's a good thing, and lowering that line interval will tighten up those edges. I'm also pretty impressed by the A7's result on this leather bracelet. There is no darkening around the design. All of the smoke and soot was carried away before it could collect on the leather. Just a very high contrast engraving into the leather. Coated aluminum also turned out well. I can see the same kind of horizontal line pattern as I did on the Slate. A slightly lower line interval would clean that up. Otherwise, it did an excellent job at removing the coating from this aluminum card. And finally, stainless steel. Diode lasers cannot engrave metals, but the heat can cause oxides to form on the surface. With the 5W version of the A7, I could only achieve black and gray markings. The 5W laser just couldn't generate enough heat to cause colored oxides to form. You'd need the 10 or 20W version for those kind of effects. In conclusion, I am pretty impressed by the 5W version of the VEVOR A7 laser engraver. I'll be honest, I've gotten spoiled with my 40, 50, or even 70W diode lasers recently. But going back to my roots with this entry-level 5W laser was refreshing. It outperformed even some of the 10W lasers that I've tested, cutting through plywood and black acrylic with ease, and I'm impressed by the nozzle. It acts as a mini air assist and does a great job at keeping smoke and soot away from the edges of the designs. The large 410 by 400mm work area is big enough for most projects, but you'll want to pick up a honeycomb bed to take full advantage of it, since the A7 does not come with any work surface. The open frame design has its drawbacks. Everyone within the eyesight of the laser must be wearing laser safe glasses, and you'll want to use it in a well ventilated environment, as smoke and fumes are dangerous. But once you you acknowledge the safety measures that you'll need to take, the A7 was a pleasure to work with and test out. And if you need more power to cut faster or through thicker material, then VEVOR has the 10 watt and 20 watt versions available for the A7. The VEVOR A7 5 watt laser engraver is on sale for only $249 at the time of recording. If you need more power, the 10 watt version with the air assist compressor is $355, or you can jump up to the 20 watt version for $765. At under $250, the 5 watt version is an amazing value for those looking to dip their toes into laser engraving. The 10 watt version is also tempting. Double the power means about double the cutting speed. If you are looking for an entry-level laser engraver and have a well-ventilated environment to use it in, then I could highly recommend the VEVOR A7 5 watt laser engraver. So thank you all for watching my review of the VEVOR A7. What was your favorite feature? What features do you think it's missing? Let me know in the comments below. I have plenty of upcoming projects and reviews in the works, including a number of other laser engravers. So be sure to subscribe to Hoffman Engineering so you don't miss out on those coming soon. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.